Hello and welcome to our video on threshold alerting. In our last video, we made our first query alert looking for Nmap and Nikto scanning via the user agent. Okay, and that was a very specific query where we created an alert and added in some suppression. And this alert, we're going to make a threshold alert, which essentially creates an alert on activity over a certain count. Okay, so looking at our data here, we could see a count of 30,000-ish, 50,000-ish, 25,000, and it tapers off here in the present. Okay. So the question we're answering essentially is if an abnormally large amount of network traffic is observed in the environment, trigger an alert. Okay. The big caveat here is this works very well in our lab environment because everything is nice and controlled. This isn't the best kind of alert for a corporate environment because there might be all sorts of network implications based off of the workday, based off of the time of the month, and if there are monthly scans or monthly jobs that would create more data. Okay. But just know that this thresholding type of alert can work for many different use cases. We're just using network activity as this kind of hello world first example here in this course. Okay. So how do we do this? Looking at our alerts, we can click manage. And let's go to rules. And let's create a new rule here. And instead of custom query, we're going to do threshold. And what that does is change up the settings that we put in for the alert. Okay. So if we go back to query, it just puts the query here and the suppression. Threshold, it gives us how to group and construct the alert here. Okay. So let's say we want an alert on abnormally large HTTP traffic. We can say event.dataset is equal to zeek.http, right? That's very similar to our previous alert. So let's say we want to group on source IP and destination IP. Okay, so we're honing in on just that jump there. We can say, all right, well, let's say 1,000's abnormal. Okay, we want to make sure that if one IP sends 1,000 requests to an HTTP server on a destination IP, then that's very abnormal. We want to trigger that. Maybe our other scanning rule didn't detect it. Okay. And then this alert would trigger. We can leave count as is. Let's hit continue. Name of the alert. Call it excessive web traffic. All right, we could say something like this. We haven't done the schedule yet, but this is the window I'm going to use. Let's give it a medium severity. You can really leave this whatever you want. Let's give it 50. Okay. And then the MITRE tactic and technique, we can actually do the same thing that we did for the last alert. So we can do discovery. And let's do network service discovery. Okay. Because we're assuming it's a web scanner similar to Nikto or Nmap. All right. Give a rough investigation guide here, just telling the analyst to investigate the traffic between the source and destination IP addresses. The schedule, let's say we run every 5 minutes over the past 5 minutes. Okay. And rule actions, we're not going to add anything in here, but let's create enable the rule. And just for fun, let's use this rule preview section here. And we can see that it would have triggered. So going back into our rules, we can see we have our web scanner alert created. We have our excessive web traffic alert created. Okay. That concludes this video, but in the next video, we're going to run those scans again and then see what generates. Okay. I'll catch you in the next video.